Hello, and welcome to this new series called Dear Diary. I'm Andrea, and I'm going to share some excerpts from my journals throughout the years. I hope you find this entertaining. This first episode, I had been going through my diaries, my journals, whatever, and I was looking at things that occurred in August, since this is currently August. And one of the things I found was my travel diary from August of 2004. So we went to New York. We went up through New York State, and then we went to Niagara Falls. So I have a few pictures, just a handful of pictures, and I'm gonna put a couple of those in here while I'm talking. So here we go. August 21st, 2004, Saturday. We left for vacation today. We stopped at the Toyota dealer first to pick up another headphones for the van's DVD player. It was a longer trip than expected because there were 3 or 4 places on I-80 West where construction put us down to 1 lane. We arrived at the park at the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon and ate our lunch. Unfortunately, the chicken was wet from melted ice. Yeah, Bob was not happy about that. That seeped in through a hole in the bag. I shouldn't laugh. He was kind of grumpy about that. We ate coleslaw and Doritos and drank lemonade. Then we went to the lookout area. It was impressive. There was a deep canyon with a river at the bottom and lined with mountains surrounding. We were eye level with large birds, including eagles gliding in the air. We got back on the road and headed for Corning, New York. We checked into the Days Inn hotel. Then we went to Friendly's for dinner. My kids were really young. At the time. When we got back to the hotel, we rested for a few minutes, then went down to the pool. I'm gonna put some of the links to some of the places in the description below. August 22nd, 2004, Sunday. Sunday morning, we ate the complimentary continental breakfast at the hotel. Cereal, bagels, muffins, coffee, orange juice, and grape juice. Then we walked to the Corning Museum of Glass. There were lots of interesting things to see. In the first part of the museum is the gallery. The art pieces were here. The second part was the history of glass. It had glass objects from different areas of the world for different time periods. It also showed how they made glass, including the old way to make window glass. They made a long, wide tube, then flattened it out. Some interesting objects included 2 German trick drinking glasses. One was shaped like a tall goblet with a piece coming up through the middle. At the top of the centerpiece were 2 animals, a stag and a horse, facing opposite directions. The trick to drink it was to put your mouth over the stag's mouth and a finger over a hole in the stem of the glass. There was a glass prayer mat, a tapestry of a large house made with beads, fiberglass tile, Millefiori glass paperweights, which they showed how to make, and glass furniture. On our way to the next section, a lady who works there stopped us and told us about the live hot glass show. She said that the kids draw a picture and the glass artist will choose one picture to making glass. She said they needed more pictures for the next show, so the boys sat and made pictures. Then we went to watch the live hot glass show. Our middle child's picture was picked. We watched the guy with an assistant make the vase that our middle child designed. It was pretty cool. This is the vase that our middle son designed. Afterward, we went into the innovations section. It explained how they discovered glass ceramics and its uses. They also showed fiber optics and lenses. Then we went down to the gift shop and bought some items. We went to Burger King for lunch. So I have to tell you, I really love glass. I collect some glass items. Not a lot, just a little bit from... I don't want a huge collection, but I've always liked glass. But more importantly, we were like reconstructing. How would you say that? Bob had taken a trip with his grandparents when he was a child, and we were retracing that same trip. So one of the places they went was to the Corning Glass Museum. We went to Burger King for lunch. Then we headed for Watkins Glen. We went to Watkins Glen State Park. We followed a path up through a rocky gorge in the mountain with water and a waterfall flowing through. It was beautiful, very wet, and we took lots of pictures. I don't know if I have any of those pictures. I have to look. If I do, I'll put them in here. Then we went to the gift shop there because there's gift shops everywhere. We came back to the hotel and relaxed a little while watching some of the Olympics, volleyball and sculling. Then we went out to dinner at Pudgy's, a pizza and sub place. After dinner, we went swimming at the hotel. Then we watched TV and had Oreos and milk before going to bed. August 23rd, 2004, Monday. On Monday, we went on the Maid of the Mist. I guess I didn't put when we arrived in... We've all heard, if you haven't heard the story, my Canada story, I'll put a link to that. I'll put a link to that video in the description below, but there's a story about when we crossed the bridge into Canada. On Monday, we went on the Maid of the Mist. We put on rain ponchos and got on the boat. The boat took us past the American Falls and into the mouth of the Horseshoe Falls. When we were nearest the Horseshoe Falls, we could not see the center part of the falls because there was so much mist. It just looked white. Like all you could see was white. The boat rocked back and forth. We went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not 4D theater. We wore 3D glasses and sat in moving chairs to watch 2 movies. The first was The Great Log Adventure. It was like a roller coaster ride with logs and some water. There was wind, parentheses fans, and water spray. The second movie was Robo Soldier. It was being a robo soldier on a mission. So I wrote a note up here that says there are lots of touristy places. One casino, Hard Rock Cafe, Planet Hollywood, haunted houses, wax museums, Hershey store, Coca-Cola store, arcades, rides, etc. Then we went in the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. Our oldest child really wanted to go there. There were interesting and odd exhibits. We went to a local Italian restaurant for dinner and went swimming at the hotel after dinner. August 24th, 2004, Tuesday. We ate breakfast at the hotel, then we walked down to the gardens and looked around. Next, we crossed the street and walked on the sidewalk along the water. We walked past the Maid of the Mist area and looked at the American Falls across the way. Then we walked up to Table Rock alongside the Horseshoe Falls. We got very wet because the wind dumped the spray up onto the sidewalk and road. We went into a building there and had something to drink. Then we went back outside and looked at the Horseshoe Falls from above where they fall. So I'm gonna put a picture in here right now that shows this sign that they had we all thought it was funny because there's like, you'll see, there's a sign that says basically it has somebody climbing over the fence and it has a line through it. And that's my middle child in the picture, but I think I blocked out his face. Next, we crossed the street and walked back up towards our hotel. We stopped at Alien Encounter, like a haunted house. The middle child picked this. We did the red tour, which means they can touch you to scare you. My youngest child held my hand and screamed through the walkthrough. The oldest, Ray, was holding on to the back of me and shaking. My middle child was fine. Afterwards, we ate lunch at Denny's. Well, I should say, when we were in that haunted museum, my youngest son, he kept screaming, which he's just very excitable and he's kind of fun, you know. We kind of call him the spaz because he's just kind of goofy. And he was really young, but he was screaming the whole time in there. And they stopped the thing. They like turned on the lights and somebody came out and said, "If you're going to keep screaming, we're going to have to take you out. We're going to have to send you out of the thing." It was weird. We're like, what? Isn't that part of the experience, screaming? Afterwards, we ate lunch at Denny's. Then we went to Ghostbusters, the youngest son picked. It is a ride where you go through a haunted house with black lights and colorful pictures and shoot a light gun at targets. Then we got a candy or ice cream snack. Then we went back to the hotel to relax. Then we went to dinner at Al Mac's Buffet. Then we drove around. We tried to see the whirlpool but could not find it. There's supposed to be like a tidal whirlpool thing. Then we drove past the path to see them lit with the colored lights. I don't know how to explain it. There's like this, it's near the park area where you drive up through and there's lights all along the way. August 25th, 2004, Wednesday. We left the hotel at a little after 8 a.m. We went to the duty-free store to claim our GST tax. Then we drove home. So like before you come back into the country, anything you bought there in Canada, you have to declare there like at customs. And if there's tax on, well, there's also a duty-free store there, so you can buy stuff in that store that you don't have to pay extra duty taxes on. So we did that and then we drove back home. And that was it. And anyway, we've been to lots of places when the kids were younger. And of all the places we've been, when I've asked them where would they like to go to again the most, you know, the faraway places, they always say Niagara Falls. So it's interesting that kids would even find that fun. I mean, they liked the waterfalls. It's just an interesting experience. So if you get a chance to try it out, I recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and look for some more and tell me what you think. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.